Hi, this is Eric Teplitz. For today's daily insight, I would like to share with you a lens that I sometimes use for viewing life. I'm not claiming that this is absolute truth. It is simply a lens. It is simply a way to view things that may or may not be helpful to you. I will share it in case it is. Years ago, I wrote a blog post entitled Zen Master Training. I will leave a link to it in the text section underneath this video. And the gist of the blog post was that the difficulties that we face in life may or may not have a point to them. I can't say, but we can view all of these difficulties and challenges that we face in our lives as what I called Zen Master Training. In other words, life is simply a training ground for you to become a Zen master. And what it does is it throws all of these challenges and experiences and difficulties your way, actually as a service to you so that you can build an incredibly strong and wise character. Because you kind of need to in order to deal with all of these things, or at least to deal with them well. One could argue that without difficulties, we would have no such opportunity to build certain character traits, like compassion, for instance. If we don't ourselves suffer in any way, we might not be able to feel compassion for other people and other beings. Again, I'm not saying that this is a fact. I'm not saying this is the reason we suffer. I'm just saying that it can be viewed this way. And I find it to be a helpful and productive way of viewing it, that at the very least, if nothing else, I might gain something from my suffering. I might be able to improve myself as a result of my suffering because, for example, I have developed some greater compassion, or I have developed other character traits that serve both myself well and also serve those around me well. I'm not saying that we are each being called to develop exactly the same qualities of character. I think it might actually be a little more unique than that. And so I went a step further and decided, okay, if this is true, right? Like if life is a training ground for me to become a better version of myself, for me to become a quote Zen master, then what is life? What characteristics specifically is life demanding of me? What character traits does it want me to build and strengthen? What kind of person is it asking me to become? And I concluded after some reflection on this that there were three things that seemed pervasive throughout my life as ways in which I am being called to develop and improve. And I cite these three specific things because they seem to be notoriously challenging for me throughout my life. So those things for me, whether or not they're the same for you, those things for me, I decided were, number one, patience. Cultivating patience. When I speak of patience, I'm talking about patience in terms of getting the things that you desire, the things that you want, and the things that you work toward. Often, worthwhile things in life take time. And of course, there are no guarantees in life. We can put forth huge amounts of effort, and we might succeed in the direction of our efforts, and we might not. There is no guarantee. But even if we do, it's going to require some patience. And that's one example of the value of patience. I can also be speaking about patience in regard to having patience with myself and my own ability and abilities to develop as a person and to be the kind of person I want to be. It's really hard, you may have noticed, to be perfect in life. And so having patience with myself, having patience with others who are also works in progress, doing the best that they can, and having patience in general with life and its process. We always want results now. We want instant gratification, and life usually doesn't work that way. Generally, if you study nature, you see that things unfold and there is a process to them. And so it would behoove us to develop patience. It also will make the whole experience more pleasant for us if we are able to be patient. The second character trait that I've surmised that life might be asking me to build Detaching from results. In other words, do the things that you want to do the things that you believe in, do things because you believe in them. And to the best of your ability, let go of the results that come of them. So you have an intention, you want to do some good in the world, let's say, and so you take action in that direction consistently. And it's very easy to get frustrated. Ask any activist, because the world around us may not seem to even hear our cries or respond at all to our diligent action taking in the name of bettering our own lives and the lives of those around us. So, detaching from results really has to do with believing in the value of what you're doing for its own sake, regardless of what comes of it. This is really hard, but one way to think about it is that we can act in such a way as to make ourselves proud, so that we can feel good about how we've conducted ourselves, how we've lived our lives. If we can make ourselves proud, that might be about the best that any of us can do, because we don't have any control over how other people perceive our actions. We don't have any control over necessarily exactly what comes of them. But if we can at least act in alignment with our values and make ourselves proud through our efforts, detaching from results is a huge way in which we can continue to take what we feel is right action and not lose heart. And then for me, the third aspect of my Zen Master training, as I like to call it, is, and it's related to the other two, is trust. And once again, when I speak of trust, I'm speaking primarily with having trust in life itself, which can be really difficult to do, because there seems to be a lot of injustice around us. It can seem like the world is utterly indifferent to us humans, and it very well might be. Some people may think of this as religious faith, but having trust in life itself, that life knows what it's doing. And sometimes it might feel like life is torturing us, either through a malicious intent to do so or through just cruel indifference. And so trusting in life is a choice. We don't know for sure what life's attitude is toward us. But the fact is that we are here because of life. Life has birthed us. Life allows us to exist. By happenstance or intention, we don't know. But it's a choice that we can make to trust in life and to trust that life knows best. Really, really hard, especially when things don't go our way, and even more especially when tragedy strikes and there's no apparent explanation that we can make any sense of. So when I speak of trust, I'm also speaking about trust in yourself. And we need to trust others because we are all interdependent, not only on our fellow human beings, but we are all interdependent. All of the beings on this earth are interdependent. So patience, detachment from results, and trust. This, I feel, is my challenge, to cultivate these specific qualities in myself so that I might become the best version of myself that I can be, and also that I might be at peace as much as possible in my life. I invite you to consider, with this premise of Zen Master training and life as a training ground for Zen Masters, that we're all aspiring Zen Masters, it's something to think about. What do you imagine life is asking you? What characteristics is life asking you to cultivate? And it might actively be throwing things your way in the name of getting you to ideally shape your character in some noble ways. So I share this with you as simply a way to view the difficulties and challenges of life. I'm not saying that there is any reason or purpose behind them, but we can imagine that perhaps, if there is one, it is to become better humans, to cultivate noble qualities in ourselves. At the very least, we can make ourselves proud by doing so. Thanks for listening. I hope you found this valuable. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.